How is completed work exchanged these days? Is it by a compressed file, email attachment, or a CD, or?
They're dumped on, well, because they usually have to go to a production department in some way, shape, or form. So we have folders that all the different companies have their FTPs that they pull off of, and we dump the product in the FTPs. All right, so this is cover for, I think, Marvel's 1. Okay. There's a lot of fun layers here to check out on this thing. Let's go to the original line art so you can see what that looked like. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So that's Jay's original piece. Now you won't see it like this in the book. It has a Chrysler building back here. Marvel came to us after and they said, you know, the Chrysler building people are rather litigious about their image. And so we had to remove it. Not sure if that's going to be in this file in these layers or not. We'll have to see. I may have just done that on the flattened version. All right, so let's go to the basic color. There's the basic color. So again, we're getting him with kind of a warm light, you know, so it's not just all reds. And notice that his reds are not going to white, they're going to a warm color. Yeah, these guys. This is Andy Troy's base color on this, and then I tweaked over it. Notice nice little like redness in the cheek here. We have a little bit of variance going on there. Probably should have done that a little bit more on a couple of these other characters. Nice little edge light that helps pop that a little bit. So we go from dark to light, dark to a little thin strip of light. That always is really a nice trick to pop characters. Okay, everybody repeat after me. You will never use the dodge tool or the burn tool as a primary rendering device ever. Everyone. The reason why is that by using it's fine to use the dodge and burn tool. Let's say you completely finished a piece. And you're saying, okay, I want to see if that looks a little better, brighter, or a little better, darker. The problem with the dodge and burn tool is then the computer really is picking your tones for you at that point. By darkening it, it's not necessarily picking the proper colors that should be in there. If you made it darker, it kind of visually quickly looks good, and it looks like it's like the perfect quick fix. But if you really picked what those tones should be yourself, you'd be better off. And it's so easy to overdo it. So I remember when I have students, I see them find the dodge tool for the first time, they think it's magic. You know, okay, I'm laying in a base tone of flesh color, and all the highlights are rendered with the dodge tool. The dodge tool can be a nice primary rendering tool if you are rendering shiny metal. It works well there. But for most other things, not so good. Oh. All right, so again, notice there's a little bit of a reflected light here. You know, so think about a reflective light, shadow. You know, the skin is going to be very reflective. If Andy really paid serious attention, he'd probably have a little bit of transparency going on in the ears. You probably have a little bit of a redness going on in the ears. That's going way over the top. I'm just saying. So let's go ahead and take the next steps with this, because it's obviously not done. Let's see. All right. So this was playing with the highlight layer. Or do we want to be a little more shiny, or a little less shiny? So these are another layer in just normal mode. Okay, under the line art. Okay. Let's see how we're working down here. Kind of. So that pops him out a little bit more. The man with the coat. The other really important thing, as far as color, that I didn't hit you in the color theory, is contrast brings things forward, Lack of contrast pushes things backwards. Okay? The reason why, just like what we're doing here with an environmental haze, as things are in the background, they get more knocked back by the environment, right? By just the atmosphere at the end of the day. Okay? Even if you look from one end of the convention center to the other end of the convention center, everything up close, you'd be able to see probably some close to pure blacks in. If you look all the way down the end of the convention center from one end, you will see that you won't be able to see many pure blacks anymore. They'll be dark, but they won't be pure blacks anymore. Okay, so contrast will bring things forward. And that's what that did right there. And they also have on that layer is a shine for his lens. That's giving you all. Now we're really close, that's why that looks jaggedy. That's fine for print. You have to be careful, like let's see where we're at here. We're at 168%, and the image size on this thing, this is not the full res color, so that's why it looks a little bit less. 400 dpi is probably where Jay's stuff is mostly going. But you have to be careful though in general too. It's very easy to become the guy who sit there, oh, I did all these hairs on the guy's arm, and I did all these veins, oh, so cool. And it's on a 2" by 2" panel. And when it prints, you're disappointed because it doesn't show up anymore. Okay, so you have to get used to what does that. And a good way to do that is just check yourself and just, I mean, most people have inkjet printers these days. Print it out at the size it's going to be reproduced and see if you're actually seeing any of that stuff that you're working on. Okay, so we added that to drop it back. A little bit more of a broad sort of haze shine to him. I don't know if I like that better or worse. Sometimes you just want to do these things and just see. Or you want to see, does it work a little bit? Great part, guys, we got it in a layer. We can take it and we can drop it back. Or take that one with the haze, this, drop it back. You can also, and this will just be showing you, if you click on the layer blending mode up here, you can scroll through it with your arrow keys in all the different modes. And you can see exactly what they do. And sometimes, especially when you're painting on something, this will be a big help because you'll see, like, oh, yeah, that looks better in difference mode. Of course, it doesn't look better in difference mode, but you get what I'm saying. Let's bring that back up to normal. And now here is kind of a fun one. Let's see. Okay, so oh, that doesn't do it. Okay. Never mind. But this one does. Notice Spidey now has a little bit of a speed blur behind him. I'll zoom in a little closer. So, without with. And essentially how that's done, we'll get rid of it, is I'm going to Control A, Control Shift C. That means you're copying a flattened version of the image. Okay, all the layers automatically get flattened. Control V. See here is a version of the whole flattened image, right? And then what I'm going to do is go Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. That, let's say, and hit OK. Okay, now of course we don't want it over everything, right? So what I'm going to do then is make a layer mask. Okay, I'm going to have my foreground in black. I'm going to fill the layer mask with black. So now